Hey, we're Paige and Alex, co-op students at Goose Digital. Week 10, and both projects hit the same question this week from different angles.
Who actually owns the output once it's delivered? And what does it take to make sure the right people who can use it can update it and respond to it without going back to the people who built it?
Let's get into it.
There are three types of CMS. Most people only know one of them. And for AI built websites, choosing the right one is the difference between something that works and something that becomes a maintenance nightmare. The first type is traditional CMS. This is like WordPress, stuff like Squarespace. This is what most people think of when they hear CMS. It's the content, the design, and the database that are all living in the same place. It works, but it is heavy, and you need to manage a server, a database, plugins, and a bunch of security updates. For a site that was built with AI and deployed as a clean static file, plugging in a traditional CMS kind of defeats the whole point. It adds complexity to something simple, and that wasn't there. So we, for sure, took this out early. The second type is a Git based CMS. There's no database, no separate server. The content is just files sitting in the same GitHub repo as the site. The client gets a clean editor in their browser, they publish something, and it saves as a file. The site rebuilds automatically. Very simple, very fast, and free. This is what we're going to use to test and prove the concept. It's not the most powerful option out there, but it definitely is the easiest to set up and the easiest to explain to a client. If you can make it work here, you can understand the problem well enough to build on it. And the last type of CMS is the headless API CMS. This is where serious content operations live. The content is stored in a dedicated platform with a proper editorial interface, with drafts, previews, version history, multiple editors, and complex content relationships. The site pulls it from a the site pulls from it via API. More setup, more cost, but it is a much better experience for clients who are publishing regularly and need more than just a basic editor. This is the end goal for sites that need to grow. So we're not choosing between these at random. The Git-based route provides a proof of concept without the overhead, and the headless route is where we land when a client truly needs the full thing. And the traditional route, well, that ship has sailed. A website delivered without any of this is a snapshot. The business keeps moving, but the site stays frozen, and a CMS changes that. It changes what the client pays for, it changes what the agency is responsible for, and it changes the handoff. And so, depending on the proper CMS, it will drive the different retentions to your site and how much content can be added and changed and as efficiently as possible.
On the image side, the same question. Who owns the output, and what does it take to make the feedback loop actually work? Client feedback on creative work usually travels through a chain. Someone sees the graphic, has a thought, tells someone, who tells someone else, who eventually gets back to the person making the changes. By the time it arrives, it's been interpreted, summarized, and softened. The original wording is usually gone. The tool cuts that out. Feedback can be pasted directly into the live Canvas AI assistant, the Magic Wand tool, or added straight into a prompt in the exact words the client used. No relay, no interpretation, no information lost between people. The output reflects what was actually said. The other piece this week was building out a task list for the people who would actually be using the tool after launch. Not navigation instructions, real creative briefs. Create an image containing this. Build a carousel featuring this. The idea is that people interact with the tool the way they would in practice, which surfaces a friction that internal testing doesn't catch. Buttons that are hard to find, featured with names that don't communicate their purpose, UI decisions that made sense during the build but don't make sense to someone coming in fresh. To actually get those tests running with the social team, we're integrating storage in a backend database this week. That's what allows us to host the tool properly and have real users playing with it, not just us. Getting that infrastructure in place means we can start surfacing real bugs and real friction points while there's still enough time to do something about them. The goal is to keep polishing while we still have the runway to get it right.
Both projects this week pointed at the same thing, and that is that the generation is only one part of it.
The ownership layer is what makes the outputs actually useful. Who can update it? Who can respond to feedback directly? Who can use it without going back through the people who built it?
And that's what the handoff is really about. It's not just something that works.
Something that works for the people who need to own it. See you next week.